The next and probably most fun thing that you can do here is this one right here called HTML snippet. If you'll take that one and drag it to your web page, I'm going to put it kind of in the center here. You'll see that it says paste or type HTML to embed on your page. Well, HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, and it is the language of the World Wide Web. Every web page is written in some version of HTML. The current version is number 5, HTML5. But what you can do is open your web browser and do a Google search for scripts, applets, any number of things like that. And I did that a little earlier, and I found this one, which is a simple game of Snake. You remember Snake, how that works. It used to be on a lot of cell phones. So I decided I wanted to put that on my web page. So what I did was, in some instances, you can just copy the script. What I did was, in this case, I went to View, Developer, View Source to look at the source for this particular page. And that's what it looks like. It's quite long, actually. Now, I have already copied that source, and I am going to put it right here. So we'll get rid of that. And you'll see that it now exists on our web page. It's just a simple game of Snake. And of course, since I've never done this before, we're going to start. Let's see, select the speed, use your arrow keys to eat the apple. Okay, we'll do slow. I guess the red one's the apple and the black one must be me, and I'm going to use the arrow keys. Okay, look at there. Hey, I'm doing good here. I'm going to crash into a wall. Game over. My score was 2. Anyway, you can put that on your web page, or any other game that you can find, or any other script crawler, or anything that you want you can put on your web page just by copying that HTML code and putting it in your HTML snippet widget. Now let's add another blank page. You'll see this is blank 3. Now if you want to change the name of that, all you have to do is go over, right click in this left hand column over here and type rename, and rename it to page 5 or whatever you want to name it to. Hit return, and all of a sudden you see that it appears here. And it not only appears there, it'll appear on every page. See, about me, page 1, page 2, page blank. Now, anytime you do a blank page, there's a number of things you can do to it. You can, of course, go down and change the theme by clicking that right down there at the bottom. If you want to add text to it, just go to the text box and drag it out, and you can put a text in, whatever you'd like to put in. If you don't like that, you can change the font to whatever you want to change it to. All fonts, just pick one. You can change the size. It basically works just like a word processor. It can be anything that you want it to be. You can change the colors of the fonts or of anything else, or of the background, or anything that you want to change. It works literally just like a word processor. So we're going to put one more widget in place. Let's get rid of this text box here. We really don't want that. We're going to put the RSS feed. RSS is a subscription service, usually free. You can subscribe to just about anything that you want to, and the subscription will appear on your web page. Let's see. I've already gone to a page right here. So it's called ITT Online. All you have to do is do a Google search for subscriptions or RSS. What we're going to do is copy right here. We're going to copy that URL of the feed. You don't want the site URL, you want the feed URL. And we have done that. And we're going to paste it right here. There's a few other things that you can do to it here if you'd like. Anyway, we're going to apply it. And now you see that, well, if we can get rid of that, you see that the feed has appeared today. Scottish Power Deal. I don't know what any of this is. And quite frankly, I don't know what site I just subscribed to. I just picked one completely at random. So that is the way you design a website using iWeb. Now, of course, your site, as all websites, are actually nothing but a whole bunch of HTML code. Fortunately, with iWeb, you don't have to know how to write HTML code because iWeb does it for you. All you have to do is design the page the way you want it, and iWeb does the rest. So now that you've done it, how do we publish it? Well, we go up here to Site, or whatever the very front top page of our site is. And in this case, it's Site. And we get Site Publishing Settings. Now, of course, the first thing that they want you to do is MobileMe, because, of course, Apple owns MobileMe. MobileMe was Apple's first attempt at cloud computing. It cost $100 a year and was a total disaster. So, as you know, they are now doing away with MobileMe and have come up with iCloud, which is the next version of cloud computing for Apple, which will be free. So we're not going to use MobileMe. We're going to take, well, we can do it to a local folder. And what this does is it will save it on your computer. Site name can be DMI 100. Contact email, your email if you want to. Choose, put your location. You can pick any location. So we can just put it on our desktop and click choose, and there it is. You see it's right there. That would be on my desktop were I to save it there. However, I'm not going to. Now, if we wanted to actually publish it to the internet, we would need to have a place where we could publish it, and that would be a web hosting service. There are millions of those all over the world, and every time you get a web hosting service, then it's going to have an FTP server. FTP stands for File Transfer Protocol, and it's the way that you move files around on the World Wide Web. And if we had one, if it were FTP, if it were Delta State, for example, and Delta State does have one, except we can't use it. It would be ftp.deltastate.edu, and then we would have to have a username and a password, and then the directory path you don't necessarily need because it would open up and you can pick your directory site once you have done that. At any rate, if you have an FTP, if you have a website with an FTP connection, that's what you would do. So, and then you would just click Publish Site down here in the bottom left-hand corner. Now, if you were to change some pages on your web page after you had already published it, you could do exactly the same thing, except just go down to Publish Site again, and what it'll do is publish your changes. Anyway, that's iWeb. It's really, really easy to use, and actually it's fairly creative, so I recommend giving it a shot. If you ever have to publish a web page, it's a pretty easy way to do one.